Hey, Michelle Champo here. It's March again. I just heard the president speak on a few more things, and I have a lot to say. I hope you guys can take this in stride. I don't know if I'm coming off. I don't mean to look aggressive or weird or anything. Um, I don't know what do people feel. How do people? My question is, how do people want me to speak? And regarding all these things to pay attention. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. This is responding to, again, to the administration of a lot of things. So this is probably going to be about 30 minutes. I wish for people to put this on only if they wish to hear me speak. If you don't like what I'm wearing or the way I look, then please, go ahead and put captions on, or you can even put this in a different voice. It's going to get more detailed. So before I thought I was just touching the surface. Now it's going to get into more detail of what is needed for the American people here in America and other countries, because we took on, as well as other countries took on, habits, chemicals. I want to say medicine opposed to drugs. I can make it really quick. Drugs are things, chemicals that need to be tested. Medicine is usually already tested and is what is known to work for human beings for the issues in which they have. I can go ahead. I'll take the blame. I started all of this, the coronavirus. I started all of it, and it's the coronavirus. It is not corona. It's not like we have flu. No, we don't have coronavirus. It's called the with purpose and reason, because when you put THE in front of it, in front of anything, it's a positive thing, because that means that it can get crossed off the list. Okay? And so it's like, this is the do we have coronavirus? No. Do we have the coronavirus? No. Will we ever get it again? No. There's association with words that needs to be done. This is car. Are you going to say this is the car, or this is a car? You guys could say this is a virus instead of using it as a term in which is actually it's geared towards a city where I'm from. Apparently it's geared toward from where it came from, which they keep saying China, etc. Now, whether something the point in which something came from is not the location. People are getting Chinese and China and Asia, and even they're getting those things mixed up, because China is a country. Okay, if it comes from a country, do you guys get mad at all the people in that country? There are white people, as you guys say, or Americans who go and have kids in China. Does that make their kid Chinese? Is their kid born Chinese if he's born in China, but yet he's from, I don't know, Mexico or American blood? I don't even know how you guys want to put it when it comes to races, ethnic groups, and cultures. I even study and major in this stuff, and it's still difficult, because people do tend to get, I don't want to use, and no one in these day and ages should be I don't want to say racist. People hear information, they use it, and then they try to use it to be cautious or aware of. So if everyone's like, oh, if someone's wearing black, it means that they're a bad person, or it means that they're mourning, or they're in a bad mood because they had to go to a funeral, or it means that they're an assassin, or whatever it is. Okay. So people do associations. It's very simple when it comes to the virus and even China. Anyway, this virus that we're talking about here, and I know people are trying to figure it out. Regardless of it's airborne. The biggest issue, and the reason why this is a national, this is an international, this is a national, this is a global emergency, because this virus is not just going airborne and landing on things and people are touching it. It's beyond airborne. Okay, and so it is, and it's beyond in the human system. It is beyond in the anatomy of a human body. Human beings are not just the carriers. Okay, this virus can be carried in a car. This virus can be carried underground in underground sewer systems. This virus can be carried by animals. These are serious issues. I started this over a few years ago. I said people need medicine. You guys can look it up on YouTube, on the internet, however you all want. I said people need medicine. I said it. I said, if you don't, you will die. I said, say people need medicine or you guys will end up, with the death penalty, because people need medicine. It's as simple as that. If I need to define medicine or go into it even more, then I can, but that can be for a different time. So I'm going to, I'll go through everything the way that the Trump administration just did via my television set. It looked like it was live. I'm hoping it was live. Regardless of anything, these things need to be put out there. I can start with some I'm going to go ahead and do the details first because I tend to work backwards to forward. Small details. I put ice down the toilet because the virus is in our toilet systems. It's in our sewer systems. The virus can go in your tummies, in your stomachs. And the virus needs to be frozen, and I don't know exactly, I'm not the tester, but the chemists, the chemical engineers are the most important. The scientists need to all come in together on this and really think about the freezing and the explosion even of a virus. What if we need Elon Musk to actually take the virus, have it frozen to the max, and then blown up in the sky, and then overheated at an extreme heat level to completely demolish what is going around? Okay, so I can speak on the small things. That is what I did. I don't know if it worked, but that should freeze whatever virus hopefully is in the underground pipings. And then I kept flushing and getting water through. I think flushing things out is super important. I'm going on 7 minutes. This is going to be about a 30-minute, spiel. Make sure with toilet paper, I'm hoping that people are putting toilet paper down the toilet. Tissues go in the trash can. So you guys can associate tissues in the trash can. And even then, is the trash being taken out of the homes in which the virus can live? The virus can live in the nose, through the nasal system, in your sinuses. These are all words that I am using and speaking on in American terms, in English terms that I think across the board. Even, Viva Mexico, Mexico can translate this and say, I understand what she's saying. It's actually very basic and surface level what I am speaking on, but I'm going to go into more detail. The importance of placement, the importance of putting, when you get paper towels and you wipe your hands, Los manos, when you clean, lavandar los manos, when you clean your hands, where do you put that? And is the virus on there? And again, the virus has more to do with bodily functions. This is for the Trump administration. It has to do with, I hate to use these words, it has to do with the number 2. Okay, so going to the bathroom, the POOP word, I know people hate it, SHIT, those type of words. That is the problem. People were going to the restroom. They were using el baño on the streets, which is illegal. But where else did they have to go? Where were these people excluded from? Let's not be too mad at any one person, or even behavioral wise. Do these people have toilet paper to wipe their tissues? And where are they putting the toilet paper after, though? And is it going through a filtration system, or do they have to put the toilet paper that has their doo-doo on it? I think doo-doo might be the number one word. I'm not too sure, but I know the president is not in authority to speak those terms. It will lower his it will lower the way that his perception that he is, it would lower the way he's perceived as a leader in our country and around the world. Trump has been around for a very long time. He knows these things. If anything, this could be just a reminder, and a reminder kind of way. I apologize for speaking out of order. when it comes to these things, but I will not stop, and I do not stop for any questions. When my tone carries on, it carries on for a reason. So I wanted to, when it comes to recycling, are people able to, the recyclables, the burnables as a lot of people call them, but the things that can cardboard, is the cardboard clean? So we're going into quality control now. We're going into, is the quality of what needs to be recycled at a humane level of cleanliness? Okay, you guys, it's important also not to go through the trash. Once trash is in a trash can, let's hope that whoever puts the trash in the trash can is of knowledge that it is trash going in. So these things are really simple, but you know what? Now some barrels. I've worked with kids, and I've worked in preschools. I've worked with a lot of things, and I've done a lot of things. People started putting sodas. All the sports guys know this. In a barrel that's the size of a trash can would be ice and Gatorade, and people would bend over and pick up the Gatorade and all that kind of stuff. Those behavioral habits translate and into different ways when going into, I don't want to say the real world, but into a different situation, of places in which people go. And so I just want to make sure that nobody is opening the trash, or opening even papers that are folded. I have a big problem with my ex who folded his napkin. I said, folded napkins are clean napkins. Crunched up napkins and all that kind of stuff are dirty. And so I know this goes into folding and making funny ducks and stuff, and putting things on the the maids and all that kinds of, putting cute things out. But people know, okay, there is reason and rationale for everything, and there's also reason and rationale for everything that I do. So when folding something, do you want someone to unfold it and find a piece of gum, or a big spider, or something squished? Do you want to find spit? And this goes into bodily functions again. People have stuff coming out of their eyes. We're human. Their ears. This goes into the cleanliness of I want to say just factory made cotton. I had probably the last real cotton there ever was in the land, in the world, which I plucked it off the side of a road in Nevada. Okay, and it was a beautiful thing until recently. The cotton industry and all that kind of stuff gets overwhelmed. So I'm going to speak on the importance of quality control. So now we talk about quantity, and we need orange juice, or we need water. Okay, what's the quality of the water? Is Gavin gonna say, hey, you guys got water, you're fine? No, we need the quality to be looked at. And this goes into all health teams, and that's why I'm such an advocate for education. I am pro education. When I slur or do anything, a lot of times it's because my mouth gets kind of dry, but it's not because I do drugs or weed, or I'm drunk if I slur. I'm actually extremely tired. And to speak at this rate with certain air conditioning or not having air conditioning can change the saliva in my mouth. I might not be normal. I might be different than other people. That is why I am not a public speaker. That is why I'm not doing this. And I also, if I speak in front of human beings or anyone, anything that moves, I will get distracted. So the distraction that I have when looking around, that's why I give such great credit to those who speak and focus and stay focused on their subjects and topics in which they speak on. When it comes to basic health care, I'm talking have the kids go through, have even regular people, just adults, anybody, go through and say, you know what do I need in the bathroom? I said make it fun and do a list like Santa Claus. Here, I could be more, what is it called? I don't know. So go through say, hey, I need a lamp in my room with I need a comforter. So you look at the basics, and then you say, well, do they need a bed? And you know what? Some people have medicine, and some people have really great physical bodies where they could sleep anywhere. I know some of these guys, they're like, I could give me a corner, I don't care. It's wonderful to be like that and have that mentality. Other people are more fragile and frail, like the elderly people. I had a big problem with the way beds were made. There was a bar, and it was on this bed actually, and it hurt someone when the cover was over and they sat down on the bar, the handle, and it hurt them so bad it jarred their bodies. Their bodies went into shock. They screamed so much that the people, almost like dogs and puppies, if they're in so much pain, people have to be put to sleep. I don't want to say to death, but they need tranquilizers. So I am asking from an American standpoint, based on all of our consumerism mentalities that have brought us all these great, wonderful things and products, we need tranquilizers, because if not, people are going to be screaming bloody murder. Physically, they're going to say nothing's wrong with your body, but yet you are crying out loud. And so a lot of elderly people are going through these types of things. When these types, even for myself, I made a mistake. I had a tent, a tent that I ordered, and the tent hurt my knees, so I had to and I said, well, if this hurts my knees, what is it going to do to my son or my kids, like, and other little kids around and stuff like that. And so when it comes to go into the bathroom, say, you know what, I need a big towel, a medium towel, or a hand towel, a face towel, a washcloth, and we need a floor mat. Now, I'm telling you all this now again. Dear administration and Trump, the virus also has to do with ringworm. And so, the bacteria, I talk about other things, but the bacteria is a problem. And so I hope that the bacteria can be addressed. Sorry if it's not focused very much so in this room. I'm actually getting very tired, and the sun is moving, so I will as well. Okay. I told you this is gonna take this actually might be a 45-minute one. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, when it comes to the ventilators are super important to talk about and be spoken on. Okay, if you have I'm not gonna lie. When I hear the word ventilator, I don't have the mental picture I have is a machine that can pump, oxygen or air and get people to breathe. Stop focusing on my teeth. Now, the problem is this, and I know Trump says, oh, this is never ending, goes on and on. Well, this is because people, such as myself, are thinking beyond, and other people too have thought past, well, okay, now we have all these ventilators. First of all, do we have people to deliver these ventilators? Do we have a place for these ventilators to go? Biggest problem yet is electricity. These ventilators, do they need to be plugged in? How much wattage is going to be needed and used? Okay, this goes into electricity stuff. I wish not to speak on the electrical part. Other people can take care of that. And so also when it comes to batteries, how do we have battery operated ventilators? If so, also, can we get some solar power ventilators? And again, if you have battery operated ventilators, you can't forget the batteries. Okay, it's kind of like having a car with no gas. Like I have an automobile but no gasoline. Okay, so it's those you guys could make a rap song about that. Like, if you guys think back, remember there was a song that a really great person did in the 90s, and she's like, she said, it's like it's raining it's like when it rains on my wedding day. Like, every other day's sunshine, but then when you're dressed up in a dress, it rains. Okay, and so it's the same. I have 500 spoons, but yet all I need is a fork. So it's about inventory, it's about quality, it's about timing actually too, and it's about placement. So I know this sounds more like the way that my professors and educational professionals and teachers did for me. but they would give the information out as fast as possible, and we would do what we could with the information. Um, okay, so that's super important. It's kind of like having, okay, I have a phone or a laptop or a computer or whatever it is, and I have a charger with it, but I don't have an electrical outlet or a place to charge it or put it in. So it's those kind of things that have to be done and looked into even further. It's like, okay, I have cable. Great. The cable, I have cable, but I have no television. So it's those type of things that are super important for everyone to remember. I can go on and carry on about the the wattage is super important. I'm telling you right now about the ventilators. Also, the quality of the ventilators and the cleanliness. It, it's like what I said earlier about vacuums. Do you guys have the proper chemical to clean these ventilators? And so that's important too. I talked about in adding the the in front of the way that we speak in regards to these type of things. Um, uh, Google military security. I'm sorry, but Google has to. If someone is in their room and they're typing, how do I keep warm? How do I get my toes to stop hurting? How to light a fire? Those things need to be red flagged to U.S. military. That is the internet started with U.S. military. And so it needs to, I don't want to say end, but it needs to continue with U.S. military if you guys want to survive, let alone survive in comfort, let alone survive, on the upside. I can say a few things on the upside. On the upside, you guys can do more technological advances in regards to cell phones. You guys can actually have it to where the camera, like I'm looking right now, a woman, beautiful woman, whoever was asking Trump and reporting with the administration and stuff on all these things. Beautiful woman. And I said she had her cell phone out. I said that's a great idea because you guys can actually do a 360 cell phone to only follow that one person, right? So it'd be facial recognition, but it would be other things too. So if someone has a phone, then the camera would flip around and say, "Oh, you're over here now," So it would do an automatic personalized cell phone, which is more of a security thing for some people. Sorry, I do have a lot of anxiety. I've had anxiety since I was little, so I'm trying to do these things as fast as possible. Um, so for me, from the beginning, I didn't give a warning. This is regards to the Trump administration and a question that someone had. I didn't give a warning. I said this is going to happen if this does not happen. There was no for, let's prepare and plan. Honestly, good job for not preparing and planning for this. It shows the innocence of the people who weren't involved in what is going on via the world globally, importing and exporting medicine. Okay, this is a chemical thing, and this goes into how people feel. Okay, and we don't want dead bodies. So I don't want anyone to think, even for Trump said it straight up. He said, we don't want anyone dying. We don't want, and no offense to people. And don't feel special. I mean, you can't feel, but we don't, more dead bodies causes more diseases. And it also creates a problem because we have to create more chemicals to decease and get rid of those bodies in as quickly of a manner in a humane way as much as possible to make it in the least painful way of getting rid of these things that are alive. When you guys speak on viruses, and can a virus are viruses alive? And can they be killed? And how do you rid of them? You can't just kind of contain the virus and not completely. It's just so And that's why I'm mad at the prisoner people who, not the prisoners, the people who imprisoned people. You're going to confine and contain them, but you guys, then you know what? I mean, well done. Then you guys taught them, and they're just come back with a bang. They're like, we're out of prison now. You guys said 16 to 18 years. Now they're coming back with a bang, all educated and smart and stuff like that. So good for the prisoners. I hope though everyone has good intent and can teach other people and other young ones, not to go into prison to get an education, because that was a big debate back in the day. I did study these things, and I did a lot of these things when I was in school, and I did a lot of debates when I was 16, which is over half my life ago. I'm 36 now, and so I did a lot of debates when I was 16 and 17 and stuff like that. And actually, sometimes I was 14 when I did the debate on Kevorkian, and I said, and I could speak on it really quickly. I said, when it comes to the death of human beings, I'm sorry, but you got to have someone to be the strong one as a doctor to say, let's go ahead and get them out of this pain, and out of even mental pain. And so here's the thing. It's not, when it comes to healthcare and all that kind of stuff, it's not about being physically attractive. Okay. So for my skin and all that stuff, it's about how people feel. So if people need lotion for their face, some people might not. They have great injections. They have things that you can eat. You can even eat certain foods. Someone could speak on that, of what can help the secretion of oil and grease and all of that stuff that comes out through your skin. I thought this was already done with hormones back in the 80s. Oxy pads came out, and all that kind of Neutrogena. All those types of things came out when there was testing being done based on the way that people looked. And so it's more than about how people feel, because once people feel something, it's about their reaction to how they feel. So they will project. If a kid is hitting someone or something, you have to say, what is that kid feeling? Is he in pain? Is that kid reacting to someone who hit him? So there's all sorts of different things that people have to look in psychologically when it comes to these type of things. And so I saw a woman at a store, and she was kind of like the Elephant Man. She was the Elephant Woman, and I saw her, and this was 3 years, I think it was 2.5, 3 years ago. I said, and it really triggered, and it sparked, and it pushed me to the limits, to the max, into which a state of emergency is in fact going on right now in 2020. When I saw her back in 2018 or it was 2017, I think, she was being given medicine to control the infection of her body that her body would get, not even based on her fault, whether it's genetics or it was behavioral or something that happened to her. It could have been an abusive situation that she was brought up in. It could have been the land. It could have been something in her system that maybe someone passed on. But the fact is that I saw this woman, and I said that woman was fine, and now she has an infection that isn't being under control as it once was. I said, this will keep the virus going around. Not even her fault. Even if the woman washed her hands 50 times a day, it's the infection and the medicine, the lack of medicine that was the medicine that was taken away that was once keeping in control. And I'm not going to go into Obama administration and all the healthcare systems. It's just it gets unbelievably ridiculous when finances are connected to health, and education is connected to health and finances, and all those are the top three things: education, finances, and health. Okay, health and finances, finances and education. You have to know math and numbers to do your finances. Okay, and to know them and do them. If not, you should have financial advisors and being well taken care of if you're not of that educational status. There are two ways to everything. There are outs for everyone regarding all of these situations that people are being placed in. No matter what party no matter what side you're on or from. The mentalities and the psychological part, I can speak on that. I'm coming up on 30 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can go further. So here's the thing with mentalities, someone has to be to blame, right? So first of all, if you guys want to blame me and say that I'm the one who started it or pointed it out about the coronavirus, and that's going on, that I'm seeing periodicals, I am seeing articles, I am seeing websites stating all this coronavirus stuff back last year. Okay, so that would have been 2019. But if you guys want to point the finger and blame someone, it's because I screamed out, give medicine to the people. Not just my people, but the whole world. I said, give the world medicine, release the funds, do the funding, give the education, and get these chemists out there, get the scientists, get the professionals, as they say, the doctors, even the lawyers. If you're smart enough to be an attorney or a lawyer, you better be smart enough to know math and know medicine and become a doctor. There should be no barriers or boundaries. When you see someone and you know them, oh, they were a doctor, but now they're a lawyer. So now they're a lawyer and a doctor, because you are going, it's going to be kind of like, well, I train dogs. I did. Does that make me a dog trainer? But on what level? Okay, so there are certain levels that people need to be at. So, and to get certain certificates, this goes into education. I'm sorry, but if I can't just go to any doctor. Like if I go to a doctor, she's going to be like, yeah, we don't speak the same language. I don't know what you took from your previous doctor, because they changed out the bottle, or they changed what was inside the bottle to be something differently. There was a medicine that was going around that was helping people to breathe, and it said that you need to take this every 12 hours to keep able to breathe. Okay, and then they switched the boxes. So the boxes in the 24-hour medicine got put in the 12-hour. That messed up a lot of people's lives, because the people were taking it at 24 hours and it was wearing off at 12 hours. They're like, wait a minute, the box says this should work for 24 hours, but yet it's only working for 12. That's because something happened. And whether or not it was done with bad intent or with malpractice or bad purpose, is no longer a factor. We shouldn't be mad or blaming one person. If you guys want to be mad at someone or point the blame, point it at me. I'm just going to need a lot of security and a lot of people to back me up when I say what I said from the beginning, that people need medicine, or you'll die. Like, it's kind of like, if you don't want to die, then give someone, hopefully, someone of a medical status and stuff, give someone medicine so that you won't find their dead body and inhale the diseases of what grows inside. And this goes into insects and little,